Hello again, everyone. Welcome to the GTraderPro weekly stock forecast. Gil here with you on Sunday to help you get a look at the trading week ahead. We're going to take a look at our key stocks, talk about upcoming events and the setups we're watching for. So let's get right into it with our group of stocks. Well, as always, we'll start off with Tesla. Now, before we get into the upcoming week, let's talk about what we said last week. I have an hourly chart up here of Tesla. And as we can see here, last Thursday, Tesla was in a sell-off. They were coming down. We talked specifically last week about 275 and holding 275. Here on Monday, we opened above 275. And we said if they could hold 275, they could come back up and test some important levels that would potentially be interesting to us. Now, we came up just a little bit shy. So we have this advance. It's a bounce and a decline, and we're going to be looking this week to potentially short Tesla. If they can get up to 344 to 357, this is something we're going to be very interested for a new short position. Tesla is in a decline. It's going to persist. Bounces are going to just be that, bounces in a downtrend. So we're looking ultimately to short Tesla for deeper downside targets. We've been talking about those longer term deeper downside targets, 253 and 230. In order to light these up, we need a daily close below 276. They did not close below 276, and therefore they're in the anticipated bounce. So we'll be looking for any further test of 340, 344, very critical level up at 354 to 357, 358. We'll be looking to short Tesla, and unless they can close daily above 357, we're looking for new opportunities to be short in this stock. If you're waiting to be long Tesla, we're going to be waiting for quite a bit. We want to wait at least for 253. Most likely, we're going to be waiting out $230. Tesla is destined to come down into this neighborhood once again later into the summer. It's certainly not going to be happening this week under normal circumstances, but we are going to be looking for more downside. If there's any upside early this week, we're going to be looking to short Tesla. Once again, 275, a very important price. Between 275 and 285, we could put 285 on the chart as well. Very likely that the next decline would first target 285 and then 275. So this continues to be a critical area on the upside for Tesla, critical area on the downside. This is the range that they're going to continue to play in until they're ready for that deeper break. So once again, we'll be looking to short this stock on any further bounce during the course of the week if we get it. Let's go over to NVIDIA. A little bit more interesting stock. NVIDIA on a monthly basis is in a very bullish position. No two doubts about that. I'm looking for a further test of 148 and 156 out of NVIDIA as we go forward. Now, not necessarily this week, but these are my longer range expected price levels. We did talk last week about the market coming up and testing 144 to 145. We got that very early in the week on Monday. Once again, Wednesday and Thursday, they ran into this price. Difficult price area to get through. And so a pullback, no big surprise here. And it's not critical. Now, we may see a little bit more of a pullback. Again, early in the week, very similar to the indices, we may see a little bit more of a pullback. 139, no big deal. 135, quite possible, along with 132. Very desirable for us to be looking at going long in NVIDIA if we can get back down into this neighborhood of 135 to 132. 139 isn't bad if you're a trader and you don't mind scaling in a little bit on each level. These are the levels I'd be looking for with a focus on 135 for a new long entry. Again, the monthly chart of NVIDIA is very bullish, and it is very likely heading up later into June, early into July, into the summer months at these higher prices. So we will continue to be looking to be a buyer. I think the only thing that would change my mind a little bit temporarily is closing below 132 to say 130. That might get me off of that. So we're going to be looking to be long in NVIDIA stock unless they close, let's say, below $130. That would we take that position off and wait for a deeper pullback and a better opportunity. But again, the long-term outlook here for NVIDIA. Very, very good. And we want to be long this stock. Microsoft, same is true of Microsoft. Microsoft continues to be a really good performer for us. Again, I'm looking for 490, 491, almost unavoidable, as I think I said last week. Unavoidable to get up there. With the market above 460, they're in a very, very strong position. So we want to buy Microsoft or add to Microsoft positions on pullbacks anywhere between 470 and 460. Likely, again, potential a little bit more of a dip to some sideways action. But again, it's almost inevitable to make new highs and get up to the $490 level this summer. So we, again, want to be buying mild pullbacks, reasonable pullbacks. And I think as long as we're closing above $460, we want to continue to be long the stock for a $490 target. Is it possible that we can hit that this week? It's not that big. It's about a 5% move. I think, again, we've got a little bit of a bottom to put in first, a little bit of a mild pullback before then we start to head back on up for Microsoft. So any little dips this week, we'll, again, be updating our members in Discord for specific entry prices that we want to take advantage of here in this stock. Amazon, again, another really good performer. We did target $214, so this was Friday. We talked about this price last weekend. Look at this, they opened right on it and rallied up. Did close back below it. This was a little bit of a short-term bearish signal, and they have come right on back down a little bit. I would love to take advantage of Amazon if they can pull back this week to 205 to 201. And that's not to say that they will do that. I think there's the chance that there's a little bit more on the downside, not significant downside. And certainly we're not interested in shorting Amazon stock at this time, but we are interested in taking advantage of what will likely be a bottom. If we can get down to the 205, 204 level, down to 202, we will likely inform our subscribers that we're going to go long in Amazon. Once again, targeting some of these levels. We would target anywhere from 212 to 214. And then we'll attempt to hold on to longer-term positions once again for 220 to 222, which continues to be a forecasted level for the summer months. That brings us over to Apple. As I have said, Apple's really very lackluster, very uninteresting for me from a trading perspective. They're okay above 195. We've talked about this 195 level now for quite some time. We go all the way back into April and May. They've been holding 195, really not going very far at all, and have yet to achieve even 210 type status. So it's really very difficult to make calls when there's just lack of volatility and lack of movement. If for any reason this week we were to come down to the 186, 187 level, I think that represents a more interesting buying price. Not to say again that they will. They have to break 195 to drop another 10 points. This to me would be much more interesting for potential long trades if we can see that price this week. I do think that there's a little chance early in the week with the rest of the indices, specifically the NASDAQ, a little bit more of a dip to occur before we perhaps get a new bottom to take advantage of. We can see that once again we've avoided 210 at some point in time. Unless Apple is really going to break significantly, we should see a 210 price target at some point in time out of Apple. Meta, again, another more interesting stock. I continue to say there's no doubt, I have very little doubt, that 720 to 725 is coming. As I've said, these are longer term forecasted levels. Weren't specifically looking for it this past week. They came actually pretty darn close. They did a good job. We said on Friday that they were in a good position, and if they could pull back, we wanted to get long. These are targets. We're certainly now getting this pullback. Any pullback, you may recall these prices we've talked about over the last several weeks, 657 to 667. I believe this, if we can get these levels closing above the lower of the two, we want to be long in Meta stock and hold that stock until we can get up to the 720 to 725 level. The only thing that would change my tune is if we lost the 625 level. So quite a bit it would take quite a bit here now, 625 and a break below 625 to change my tune about being long the stock as we approach these levels on a pullback early this week. Hope we get an opportunity for that. We should dip a little bit more, again, like the NASDAQ and like the other indices early this week, and dip down into buying territory for what should be a really nice trade. MicroStrategies continues to be another weak performer. And we did say last week that they had reached some important levels and we're going to firm up on them. One of them last week was 355. They came down very close on May. I'm sorry, this is a weekly chart. So I'm using a weekly chart of MicroStrategies here. We had come down a couple weeks back to 357. I said a bounce was to be expected. We said last week, coming into last Sunday into last Monday, that any attempt up here at 395, in particular 400, we wanted to short that. Let's go over to a daily chart, and we can see that indeed they came very close to triggering a short. We didn't quite get into the trade here. We saw a nice pullback Thursday before they bounced up on Friday. Again, MicroStrategies in a longer-term downtrend. It's bearish on the weekly and monthly charts. The only thing, again, that would change my tune is closing above 400. And so we did say recently we're taking profits on shorts. New short entries would occur if we could get up and test 400. We did not quite get there early this week. Monday made the high before they pulled back. So no action here on MicroStrategy stock at the time. We'll see how the week progresses. We'll keep our traders aware of our expectations for MicroStrategies during the course of the week via our Discord channel. Lastly, Netflix. Just a beautiful opportunity this past week on Netflix. Last week on Sunday, we had mentioned where we had closed. They had rallied up nicely. Here was Friday's close. And we mentioned that we could come down and retest 1205, which they did, and potentially retest the 1180 level. And we wanted to buy at 1180. Now they came down here on Tuesday and gave us a really nice bottom and a really nice buying opportunity for anybody who was interested in Netflix. We did have some of our stock traders in our group take advantage of that. Really nice bounce. And as I said last weekend, one of the first targets, of course, would be 1205 to 1215, and they ran up and took care of that very nicely before settling back again, closing very comfortably at 1211, 1212 on Friday. Once again, any further test early this week down at 1180. I doubt we see that. A daily close above 1215 is going to be bullish. Our next target is 1239 to 1240. Ultimately here, we do look for the stock to test 1260, recent new all-time highs, and ultimately later this summer continue on up later June, July, and make new all-time highs at 1280. These, again, longer-term forecasted levels, not expected this week. But again, we do this week if we can get an additional pullback. If you miss the buying opportunity there at 1180, we want to take full advantage of 1180 if it occurs once again. Only closing below 1180 on a daily basis would stop us out of that, and we would once again await a new entry. We absolutely want to be long in Netflix with the expectation we're going back to 1260 to 1280. But again, a really lovely bounce for traders who took advantage of 1180 this week. And that, I believe, wraps up our stock portfolio. So again, I thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel here and leave a comment. And of course, as always, we invite you to join our totally free Discord community for daily updates, daily insights, and trader chat. The link is in the description, and please be sure to visit our website, GTraderPro.com, where you'll learn about our one-to-one training, our tools, and our resources, and follow us on social media in order to stay connected with the GTraderPro ecosystem. And again, thank you for watching. I look forward to seeing you next week. Have a great week, everybody.